Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris Newbie Tutorial series for version 2.72 of the game. I'm your host, Colors Fate. It's episode 30. It is the year 2471. We are 29 years to be specific, actually about to be 28, away from the end game screen popping. And we're just going to take care of our empire for a little while. One of the other things I am going to do is probably consider going after this last group of people who are kind of our enemies. Oh, Brigand's blockade at Crimdor. Representatives of the Nomad hegemony, a temporary blockade is now in effect in Crimdor. Processing and transportation of food and minerals through the system are now subject to seizure by external customs and acquisitions officers of the Bemat Thalassocracy. All non-merchant vessels will be turned away, or else fired upon. These conditions shall remain in effect until our ECA quotas can be met. Sometimes these custom checks can be stressful. We understand. Cooperate and no one need be harmed. And please rest assured that every grain and ore we solemnly claim will be put to use within the Bemet Eco-Hab propagation scheme. We are grateful for the consideration for a brighter, self-made future. What? You will regret this, Bemati scum. So, oh man. Oh gosh. Okay. And that's over here then. What is this? Bemat Thalassocracy. Okay, but are these guys, what are they? They're 28,000 versus these guys. Bemat, but the Obadin Sankersect. Can we get a fleet over there? I think we can. Let's get one of our fleets over there very quickly. We don't even need a big fleet, so let's just take this small fleet right here. You guys, right here. Go there as soon as you can. And take them out of the way. So we have one group over here, the Obadin Commerce League, who don't like us, and everybody else is green. They do like us. And the Obadin Commerce League is part of the Pan-Galactic Prosperity, so the Confederation of Jagalawa Holdings are the only other people in their federation. And what we would very much like to do is get our federation level up so that we can go to very high. Unfortunately, we're a long way away from making that happen. We need 9,600 and our cohesion is not great. So representing our interests in the United Information Alliance, the Galactic Community. I have a lot of people in the Galactic Community. I'm going to throw a few more at my Federation instead as far as envoys go. Oh, and before I do that, I'm going to go change one of my edicts. I'm going to go turn off fleet supremacy, and I'm going to turn on diplomatic grants, and it's going to give me another envoy that I can assign here, so we can try to get this cohesion number going really far up. Mining station offline. And then I have something else I want to do. What are these guys again? Space amoebas. They have, oh yeah, they do lots to damage armor and hull, but our fleets are so big it doesn't matter. I don't need to retrofit my fleets yet. What I'm thinking about is I want to send some of my fleets out. Some of these smaller fleets to just kind of clear out these enemies. Let's clear the map, shall we? Because that would be a fun thing to do. What is this? Spaceborne organics. Do that. Alright, what passed? Building a better tomorrow. Great. Pirate station raided. These guys are in here. About to put the hurt on them. Oh yeah. You think you can run, pirates? You think you can take off? Guess who's got the big bombs? Guess who's just got more than you? That's... My guys are circling around here behind. Yeah.
Research concluded.
Your ships are toast. Okay, so where's our science ship? That was doing all this work right here. Yeah, you're up there. Great. Your no orders, so research projects in the system. You guys can return home to Cowrie Station. Energy weapon. And then Nomad Hegemony. I don't like that these guys cut through here. Obedin, Synchronicity. Punks. Punks, I say. Turkeys. I'm surprised they haven't come over there and got wits in there. When you're done with that, survey that just for the heck of it. So this will be this next. Yeah, we didn't even need transports against the Praetorians, so. Oh, yeah, there's this. You guys have a shipyard over here, don't you? I got an idea. Why don't you give me a constructor vessel there? We'll build a gateway there so you can send what trade you have somewhere else. You guys have lots. Okay, there's habitats here. Yeah, I got an idea. Let's colonize habitats so that Eggle habit. So let's colonize these habitats so that we can start to make use of some places to put our pops. Eggle Hab B. Let's do that. Eggle. Let go of my Eggle. Yes, I'll extend my contract. Alright, and then there's up here, what is this? These are more habitats.
Research concluded.
Oh no, this is an actual world. Oh, that's fantastic. Great. Do we have somebody who's not a robot who wants to do this? We have a bunch of robots. I don't want to build a robot. I want these guys to do it. So, like to bond. Yeah, go get that. And that was, there's a like to bond habitat.
Initial colonization phase commencing.
That's got to be for the, is that for the ring road or is it for something else? We're going to find out. So we get a lot of these. Holden has some habs. Lost to bureaucracy due to major clerical error parts. Ring AAA has fallen behind in infrastructure, maintenance, and accommodation services. The people live in rather bleak conditions and will not tolerate it for long. Remedying these problems will cost us time and effort. Okay, so they're sprawling some. So we have a strong community. Help them recover. Yes, and no, that's the easy way to deal with that. So Holden habitat. Hab A. Holden habitat B.
Construction project concluded.
Great. So we get all that. Get some more of that. That helps. Because now we have this. Ring world completed. It's a great day. So this is awesome. We come down here and say colonize ring D. Ring DDD. Ring triple D. And then that means you. Oh, we're lacking influence. The one thing that you can't make as fast as energy credits or minerals. So keep going through here and looking for this stuff. Howard says, hey. Oh yeah, so give them some gases. Last two shots to upgrade. This will provide jobs, much needed jobs. We need jobs, need jobs, need jobs. The Whiter Hab says, hey, I need jobs too. Whiter Hab B says jobs. And the commercial zones can provide so many jobs. They're so good at it.
Shipwreck studied. Fascinating.
Do you have a Ministry of Production? Are you building one? Is that the deal? Yes, you are. Good. Okay. So for this, take that and replace it with cities. Doing very well on consumer goods now, which is great. So our empire is starting to look like what I'd like it to look like again, which means things being built. Synthetic crystal plants, exotic gas refineries, chemical plants, upgrade. This planet, which needs gases, and then it's basically done. Take this and replace it with Galactic Stock Exchange. Take this and replace it with commercial zones. So it's all going according to plan. It's very nice. This, okay, here. Replace this. Military Academy. Very nice. I like it when these planets start to get done and they're all good and your empire doesn't have a lot of unemployment. Not having greater than ourselves up would be, it's just paralyzing, and you spend so much time manually moving pops around, and it's just frustrating in the extreme. And I don't like it. So this is a good situation. Oh, do that. We do that and that. There's a few more jobs. So what would we need? Well, here was the thing. I'm pretty sure we can go to war with the Obadon Commerce League. I'm pretty sure I can just force them to do it. But this is really nice. Look, there's plus 10 XP. Our XP is now maxed out. So this is going to keep moving in a very positive direction. We'll get to level 5. But in the meantime, let's go to the Obadon Commerce Exchange and say, demand tribute. I like him. He looks like a cute little kitty cat, doesn't he? He looks like a Maine Coon. In fact, this is a picture I need to use for my next playthrough. When I go inward for perfection, I need to call them the Maine Coons, because a Maine Coon is a really neat cat. Vassalization subject, or we could go Colossus Total War, but I don't want to tick off everybody. So vassalization, subjugation. Let's see how the vote goes.
War declaration processed.
The United began while you had fleets inside it. Okay, fleet has gone missing. All right, so it started. They just, yeah. All right. Oh, is this because can subjects vote? Wait, fleet contribution, succession term, vote war majority vote, but I guess I didn't see the actual vote, so let's move our fleets then. Okay. Where do I want you to go? Well, here's where I want you to go. There's a gateway, so I want you to go through there. That's why I like having all my gateways. So let's pick a couple of big fleets here. Like these guys. And have them go right there. And then there's an entry point right here by Bythea where we can go in, and there's an entry point here by Trappist. So we'll go back to fleets that are doing nothing. That's 103. You guys can go there. And then your aggressive stance and your aggressive stance. So you guys can come in through here. Through Trappist. And we'll have an actual war. We'll do something
colonization phase
while the last 27 years of the game are progressing. We'll come get rid of the last thing. And when we're done, the Jagalwa, since they like us, what is their name? Confederate. Okay, so the Confederate Jagalwa Holdings, they like us. So they might be inclined to join our federation when this is all over. Yeah, it won't take take long to conquer you guys. No, it won't.
Another day, another scientific breakthrough.
This world says, hey, if you're going to build stuff. Alien megastructure completed. The Lorongo Shipping Alliance created a science nexus. So that is good for them.
Initial colonization phase commencing.
And this is unlocks research. We're just going to roll in here with our superior numbers and not worry about refitting our fleets to beat these guys up.
Commencing.
So, I don't see any reason to spend too much time worrying about that right now. Oh, so here we go. What do we have? That's the ring world. We got people going to that one. It's talking about the habitats.
Research concluded.
Okay, what do we need? What would be good?
Initial colonization
Let's just
phase
keep doing the
commencing.
army damage stuff. I need to get my armies ready to move is what I need to do. Let's go get our armies.
Initial colonization phase commencing.
Move them to here. You need a leader, a general. This guy's good. Army damage and leader
Initial
lifespan.
colonization phase commencing.
Okay. And what are you doing? Yeah, get moved over there. He says it takes me a while. Oh, and we have
Spaceports sustaining damage.
yeah, I know. So we need to get somebody through there. How many ships are over here? 40,060. Okay. Who do we have? We got. You guys are fun. Why don't you jump drive to right here? You can do that. And why don't you guys hurry and get in here?
Deep space constructor status destroyed.
Oh, my constructor went kaplooey. Well, that's not a big deal. Oh, but one of you guys, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have the other one jump here as well. We're going to protect that. Or you can jump over to here. Okay? Nope, you can't. Okay. Well, then everybody move there.
Construction project concluded.
He jumped. He's got 40% less offense, but he jumped, and so he's going to start.
Initial colonization phase complete.
All right, that one. It's a habitat. It could be a research habitat. Oh, it's a research ring world. Okay, this is ring BB. No, we want to do commercial ring world here, and we're going to go. Yeah. Ring BBs always get the commercial ring worlds. Alright, so he ate all of that. Good, and he can just kind of stay there as a protector of that. You, my friend, why don't you
Initial colonization phase
sneak
commencing.
around with him? When you're done, go there. Very nice. There's the colonizer over there for that ring world. There's a leader who's gained levels. Let's see. We got all those edicts on, which is great. So, I don't need to worry about that. One of you guys needs to forge on ahead. So go there. Our big group, come down here. Land on Naf Oblia. How many? They have 469 troops, which is not much. Those guys are getting ready to move. This is great. These guys moved up here, which is fantastic. So we're going to clear a path over here. So the other ship, in fact, the one that's not moving, we're going to move it over here, and we're going to have it jump drive over there and land. Got to keep things interesting here at the end of the game now that you've beat the crisis and you're just waiting for the victory screen to pop, which is going to be very nice. This is going to be a huge victory. Jeez. We're way ahead of the Rexy Zealots, too.
Commencing.
If the Rexy Zealots didn't like us, if they didn't like us at all, I'd go after them, too. They're pathetic now, and their fleet power is inferior. So we are vastly superior to those guys, which is nice. Okay, so one of you has to go over here,
Incursion
get this, and the other one has to go there. You gentlemen, take this. You gentlemen, go there. Ladies and gentlemen. Alright, and you've grabbed that, so go over here. Governor gained a trait. Perfect. I want you to jump drive to right there. How many days to jump? 11 days. Okay.
Planetary Incursion Initiative.
Excellent. We like seeing that. Why don't you come down? There's a bunch of them for you to do down here. Wow, there's a ton. They got all kinds of habitats in that system. So, what do they have over here? They got this planet.
Construction project concluded.
Good job.
Research concluded.
Excellent stuff. Just rolling through this. Everybody doing their job really well, which is really nice. These guys are planetary. Incursioning over there. You are right there, so you can move to there and take that fleet out. Yes, artisan troop. The artisan troop, in the middle of a war, they have to make sure they have their money. We need you to fund us. Yes.
Planetary Incursion Initiative successful.
That's excellent. So we got that system up there. That's good. We're going to send them down here to... Oh my goodness. Holy cow. Okay, there's some work to be done in that system. Holy jeez. That is a mess. Oh my goodness.
Commencing Planetary Incursion Initiative.
I'm going to do that with him. Wow. That's a lot of habitats and planets to squash over there.
Planetary
Jeez.
Incursion Initiative successful.
Okay, so you got to get all of them before we get the little spikies on the system, letting us know that we've conquered the whole thing, like over there. You guys are about to finish that off. How are you doing building the ring worlds? No orders. Okay, so we need to work on the next stage, or what are you doing here? You have no orders. I thought I told you to build a ring world here. Oh, we couldn't because we didn't have enough influence. It's this guy who's building, and he's at 79%. Okay.
Research concluded.
That's fantastic. You guys are fighting.
Planetary Incursion Initiative successful.
Fighting and fighting and fighting. I gotta come up here and look at who's doing planetary what. These guys.
Planetary Incursion Initiative successful.
Lots to do. Still tons for you guys. Oh my gosh, there's just so many habitats.
Initial colonization phase complete.
What is this? This is for the Holden Hab A. It can do mining. Fun. Well, let's do that. Let's make it a mining station. Oh my gosh, this is just crazy. It's crazy. What are you guys doing? Landing armies.
Commencing Planetary Incursion Initiative.
Okay, you guys come over here. We'll get you repaired. What are you doing?
Initial
You're
colonization
fighting.
phase complete.
Anybody who's not
Commencing
fighting
Planetary
now
Incursion Initiative.
can go back here and get repaired to the Juggernaut.
Planetary Incursion initiative successful.
Just nuts. There's a lot of... This is nutty how many there are there. These guys, because they have some ships there, tell you what, your job is to go hang out there. We need ships there. They've got enough things there. They're trying to like build fleets and get them to show up or something. I don't know.
Initial colonization phase complete.
Oh wow, so lots of colonies. These are all habs. So let's do trade station. Okay, next one, habitat, trade station. Trade station. Not even going to worry about immigration. I don't have to worry about it. We've generated enough people everywhere else in the galaxy. They're going to keep moving folks there.
Commencing planetary incursion initiative.
How many you got left?
Commencing planetary incursion initiative. Planetary incursion initiative successful.
That's what we like to hear. That one takes all of 2 seconds because it was on an empty hab, I'm sure. Because these habs don't have armies. This one does.
Planetary incursion initiative successful.
So that'll take a little bit of time. What else is left here? This one. NAF Gavase.
Colonization phase complete. Research concluded.
This is a ring world. Research ring world CC. That'll provide a lot of jobs.
Commencing planetary incursion initiative.
Ring world. Army health. Army damage.
Commencing planetary incursion initiative.
Admirals gaining traits. Okay, so we conquered this fully because now it has the 4 spikies. So you are free to go up here and start to conquer these things. And you're over here still trying to conquer these because there are a ton of them right here.
Initial colonization phase complete.
What does the war exhaustion look like? It's 1 to 76%. We gotta wait until we can achieve war goals though. But we're moving in the right direction there. Should be fantastic. And how are the Jagalwas? Confederated Jagalwa still like us, so if we can finish it in time. This is a habitat that got that done, so that's great.
Commencing planetary incursion initiative.
What are you guys doing? You're landing armies. Super.
Planetary incursion initiative successful.
Ring world construction. We are making history. Awesome. Come down here. Yay. Build that sucker. Okay, how are we doing for influence? Can you build one over here then? Are you ready? Yes. Build it. If you build it, they will come because we have greater than ourselves. Okay, still an undisputed champion of habitats. There's a lot of habitats, jeez. What about you? What are you doing? You're moving, good. Us and our federation are. He's moving, he's landing armies, okay. Oh, we can achieve our war goals. Send the offer. Turns out war was not the answer to our budget deficit. We propose an indefinite truce. Yes, and now they are our vassals. Great. Okay. So the quick way to do this is click on all these fleets.
Construction project concluded.
And say return home. Oh, that's awesome. So good. Okay, gentlemen. Excellent job. Why don't you move up here to Clack? Why don't you move up here to Clack as well? Where are you? Yeah, get off of there. Embark all. I don't. They were still going to land there even though the war ends. It's like, no, don't do that. Okay. Nice science ship. There's nothing really for you to do now. Everything has been handled. So why don't we have you come down here? Pirates sighted. Oh.
Research concluded.
Have to take care of those dirty pirates. I need a construction ship to come up here and grab these moats. I like all of this. This has been pretty hilarious. So what do we have here? It's making jobs. Yeah. Okay. So let's make sure that in its quest to fulfill all these things up, we give it precinct houses and holo theaters, and we take those and we move them to the top. Receiving transmission. Confederate Jagalwa Holdings form a commercial pact. Yeah, sure. See, now you guys are just going to want to be in our federation, aren't you? Ring CC is still building. Ring DD colonizing. Okay. And what is this? We have won this war. Yeah, because we're pretty good at winning wars. So if we go to the Jagalwas and we say communicate, offer association status, because they're no longer in an alliance because we just vassalized their alliance guys. Well, we didn't vassalize them. We made them our Obanin. So now what we can do is I can improve relations with one of our representatives, like from the galactic community. Maybe we'll use him, and that'll help them to make them a little. And they're molluscoid. They're the Obadins. So if we go to our species and we say Obadins, are they here? There. How many do we have them here? So we could go in here and we could set their rights to chemical bliss. And does that change it for all of them? But the big set rights, they have full citizenship. We want them to be chemically blissed so that they're happy. And in fact, we'll take these guys and apply that template to.
Situation log updated.
It'll take a month to do those people. If we go in here and look, what's it say? Research proposal, yes, we'll take that. And what is this? Federation Association Officer. We're glad to have this opportunity to join your massive alliance, which is the only alliance left in the galaxy. So yeah. And the Rixie Zealots. Oh, what's this? We can ask to become their dominion.
Initial colonization phase complete.
That's like you becoming their vassal. I don't want that to happen. I think we might just want to go conquer them too. What do you think about that, folks? Should we go conquer them? Let's make this a mining world. Let's build some jobs. And some housing. Let's take care of their giant Game of Thrones walls there. Very nice. This game has gone so well. I'm excited to play some other things. One of the things I'm excited to do is try some higher difficulty levels. I haven't done a lot of that. Showing you how to play the game on the most basic of difficulty levels. Captain with scaling is pretty easy. But of course, you as a new player are going to be like, no, it's not. And trust me, I waited to move up from ensign for a long time until I was very certain that I knew what I was doing with the game. And I think if you're a new player, that's totally acceptable. Do that. Take however much time you need until you're comfortable with your species and you've are playing the game in a way that's comfortable to you, and you feel like you have a handle on it and you're good at it, and then boost that difficulty level. Give it a try and see what it does for you. I'm excited to play driven assimilators on a higher difficulty level, because that's a species I really like to play. And maybe strengthen the crisis, because that crisis, by the time it showed up, we were firmly in command. I would say they didn't really stand a chance. And I would also say one of the most important pieces of advice that I didn't follow, which is my own advice, is these last 3 slots here on your planet, save them 1 each. Crystals, gases, motes. If you do that, this will never be a problem up here. And for a long time in this game it was a problem because I didn't follow my own rules. So I think following my own rule from now on, the rule that I've built up over time, I think is a wise move. I would strongly recommend it for the rest of you folks playing the game. Because then you can just have the power to do this, come in here and upgrade these buildings and not have to worry, oh, how many crystals is it going to use up? How many gases is it going to use up? Doesn't really matter, because you're swimming in them and you're not buying any of them off the market. And if you're swimming in them and not buying any off the market, then you're doing really good. I do want to take a look at the Fallen Empire and see what their tech is like, because we'll want to switch over to handle them. Battlecruiser, they have tons of shields, so we're going to want to switch over to all kinetics. They do have some armor. They're using lots of missiles and lots of energy weapons, so we want to have a lot of armor. Well, we want to have a lot of shields, because these are bad against shields. We want to be mixed, though, because look, we're going to... And this is again, they do massive amounts of armor and hull, so we're going to want to have a lot of shields. A lot of shields and a lot of point defense to track down their missiles. So that might be... This is Ring DDD, so it gets to be a research world. So what we're going to do is just put 1 research segment on it and then come back and put... what are these called? What are these buildings called? Precinct houses. Precinct houses and holo theaters, so they get enough amenities and stuff. Yeah, so I'd kind of like to take out the Fallen Empire, actually, before the game comes to an end. That'll also help us. Flocks in a cloud. Cloud snagged. This project is part of a wider scientific effort that has not had anything going on with it. So assign a scientist to begin excavating. This is on Baldurak, and we haven't sent anybody over there. Well, let's do that. We have 1 scientist in here who has good archaeological skills, and it's this guy. So we're going to send him over here to excavate that site. So we're going to do that, and then army health, army damage. And then what we're also going to do is there was a second site over here, this storm, and we're going to go to it, and it's up there. And I think we had 1 more scientist who had good archaeological skills. I might be wrong about that. I am wrong about that. Okay. He's got anomaly research speed, which I don't really care about. So I'm going to take this person and say, go over here and excavate that site. And we'll get those 2 things moving in the right direction. There's a orbital habitat here that we can still colonize, so let's do that. This is Rix's Hab A. And there's 1 right here. This is a Savannah world? How did I miss that? Well, let's get that colonized. Ublia Prime, I think it's Ublia what? It's Ublia 2. Ublia. Princess Ublia. And this is an orbital habitat. Colonize that. We're actually finally starting to creep up on our empire sprawl. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to go crush these guys. So while the worlds are turning, we're going to set up some ships. They're bad against shields, the Fallen Empires. But and what do we need to do damage them? They have tons of shields. That's the thing. Okay. So this, if I do this, and I have enough power for that barely. So if I do this, I call it Corvette CV, and I'm going to do dash F for the Fallen Empire, and that's what that's going to be. The Praetorian Swarm ones can go away. So here is, in fact, we could just change these Praetorian ones and rename them. So let's do that. Shield, shield, shields. Punch through would be good to get to them, so I'll leave those on there. And then I'm going to want to do things like this. Oh, and here's the enigmatic decoder tracking, chance to hit, and evasion plus 20%. Oh, I'm going to go put that on the Corvette. That's awesome. Okay, so if we do this, let's see. Shields. I can't get away with that much of it, so I got to do this. Okay, so this becomes Fallen Empire version of the ship. And that means we can go down here and get rid of this picket there. Delete that one. That's the base one. I'm going to delete that because we never use it.
Research concluded.
I'm going to go back to this and change this to... our evasion right now is 90%. And if we put the enigmatic encoder in there... it doesn't change our evasion? Really? So it doesn't change our evasion over afterburners? Because why? Afterburners do sublight speed 20% and evasion 10%. So we'll leave the afterburners on. Okay, so that encoder isn't that big of a deal. Alright. Research completed, it said. And it's like, hey, pay attention to me. Kinetic weapon attack speed. Yes, because we're going to need all the kinetic weapon stuff. So let's go back to the cruiser. This version of the picket is nice. We have this now. This is the amoeba. It does 20 to 30 damage. This one does 8 to 12. It has an evasion of 80% compared to an evasion of 50%. Its speed is 400 compared to this 66% armor penetration. Huh, that's interesting.
Research concluded.
What's it say? Average damage is 40 per day. Average damage on this is 50. Well, we're going to go with the swarm then, since we took it from them. We're going to need kinetics, so let's go with the Stormfire autocannons and the punch through and the missiles and do this. And
initial colonization commencing.
This regenerative hull tissue, what does this do? 1 and 2. While an asteroid falling on your planet can be nerve-wracking, like Taban has been rather fortunate. No harm has befallen the colony. We must find a way to stop this. Issue special project.
Situation log updated.
So this is regenerative hull tissue, and the nanite repair system, which does a much greater job at it. So we're going to add that. I should have changed that a long time ago. So this will be Picket F for Fallen Empire. We'll get rid of the old Picket there, and we'll get rid of... Well, we'll save that one. So this one is delete. This is doing all armor hull damage. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to leave it the way it is. We're going to go fix these two. So, for the Fallen Empire. So let's do this. Shield capacitor. Generative hull tissue. We don't want that. We want the nanite repair system, because that thing is bonkers. This does armor hull damage. I want that. And then I want all the kinetic stuff. And then we're going to leave one of these on for when it gets close. We're going to change this to B, K, B, K for kinetic Fallen Empire. That's going to be our kinetic one. And then we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this. And the only differences on this is we'll use the punch through. And this will be the penetration version. So we'll have both of those running around out there. For the Titan, we got this P version of the Titan. We're going to switch it over to almost all kinetic weapons. And we're going to say shields. And then nanites. But we're going to throw on this shield capacitor here. Jumps our shields from 52 to 57. It's not much. I might just want to leave the nanites on there because that was such a small boost. It was 500 extra shields there. I'd rather probably have the nanite repair. So we do that. We get rid of Titan P because the Praetorian score is gone. All gone. So we'll do that. We'll get our ships upgraded here. And look at all these habitats. They're saying, man, I got all this room. Start making me some jobs. Okay. Research. Gas. Crystals. Upgrade that building. Alright, what do you got here? Faction founded. Don't care. If factions mattered in this game, I'd care, but they don't. So they just collect. They just collect influence for you, and you should not sweat them. Clack says, hey, I've got unemployed leader. You want to do something about that? Well, I can try. Governor gains trait. Alright, let's go back to our ships, because that's what I really want to do. Not the shipyards, not the star bases. I want to go to the fleets. Alright, let's take a look at these. Corvette P-class, change it to the F-class. Destroyer, Picket, change to F. This change to F. Battleship, change to Penetrator F. F. Titan F. Alright. And I need to upgrade the fleet. Let's go to second fleet. Same thing. F.
Research concluded.
Grab the F's. The F. Gordon Ramsay. The F word. Ramsay's the best, by the way. The guy's awesome.
Initial colonization phase commencing.
I love his shows and I love him. He cracks me up. I like his... So here's the thing about Gordon Ramsay. I'm gonna ramble about this a little bit, newbies, but you gotta watch his British shows, not the Fox ones. Oh my gosh. Fox does everything they can to make him out to be a villain. And of course Ramsay doesn't mind, you know, because, hey, it's a great paycheck, but it's just not the way he is, really. And when you see him in the British shows, he's so much better. And you can see his true passion for food comes through in the British shows, and his desire to want restaurants to be awesome. I love the one where he goes in and tries to fix a restaurant. And of course, it's unfortunate. Kitchen Nightmares. It's unfortunate that the Fox version of it in America is all about vilifying him and vilifying the owners and trying to create drama. But the British version of it is so much better. He goes in there and he just really wants to fix their restaurant and help them. And it's neat seeing the people who are successful, the people who take his advice and really synthesize it and make their restaurants better. I've watched so many of those shows, probably all of them, and almost all the time when a restaurant starts failing, it's almost always the same thing. The menu's too big, the food is bad, and the service stinks because the owners. And really, just fix those three things. First thing Ramsay always does is pare down their menu. The second thing he always does is give them food on their menu that they can actually make that tastes good. And then improve the decor and the service, which is always the least important thing in a restaurant. I have been in some real plain Jane restaurants in my life. Places that are not decorated almost. But they're always crowded. Because people go there because the food is amazing and the service is good. There's a Thai restaurant, for instance, that I used to love in a town I used to live in. And if you went there for lunchtime,
Research concluded.
It was going to be packed every day because the food was amazing. It was real nondescript interior, minimal decoration, plain tables, nothing fancy at all. The most amazing Thai food. The lady was from Thailand. Her husband was a GI. He prepped all her food. She did all the cooking. Because it was only the two of them, you might have to wait a while for your food, but it was always worth the wait. And oh my goodness. And so that's always been the great lesson to me, is if your food is amazing, you know, and if your service is good, if you're providing people with that, getting it everything they need, are they taken care of? Are the people taking care? I've learned this from my wife having a restaurant, and her restaurant, well, by the way, is amazing, and her food is amazing. And that's why she's successful, because she's a brilliant cook too. And she makes everything from scratch. And oh my God, fresh baked bread from scratch. And her pizzas are from scratch. And the dough is from scratch. And everything is from scratch. And it's just all really well done. But one thing I've learned is, and we've learned this going out on our own, we will wait. We're willing to wait for great food. As long as the service takes care of you while you're waiting. It's fine to wait 45 minutes for brilliant food if they're serving you drinks every few minutes and they're attentive to you. You know, nothing sucks more than walking in, having someone take your order, and then they disappear for an hour. I mean, we've only waited around in a couple of restaurants for that long. We get to the 45-minute mark, and if we don't get a second drink, we're like out of there, you know, and we're just not going back. But if a place is coming to you every 10 minutes and bringing you new drinks and filling it up every time it's empty, and you know great food is coming, and you know that the delay is because it's really busy because they have great food, then yeah, that's a fine night out, man. It's like, go do that. Of course, that's something none of us have done since the pandemic happened, but that was, I love going to a great restaurant. I love eating really good food, and I love hanging out and having a good time doing that. And it always makes me sad to see restaurants fail because they can't get the basics right. The refined material has been uncovered, and while further study is needed, our initial impression that this is the remains of a vast battle site. It appears that one side descended from orbit and was engaged by planet-bound defenders. Why there was no orbital bombardment and who the victor was remains unclear. There's no orbital bombardment because that's the way I do wars. I just go in there and take what I want. Like, speaking of restaurants, one of my wife and I's favorite places to just go was a pizza place. And we like to go there because they had a nice little bar. You could get away from everybody else, all the families and stuff eating pizza. It was sequestered off by itself. And they had decent pizza and decent salads, and then ownership kind of changed hands or something. But at any rate, what happened is the service got terrible. Our favorite server left, and then the people they replaced her with were abysmal. And we went in there one time and we sat down and we got a drink and we ordered some food, and 45, and it was not busy at all. There was maybe 2 other tables in the whole restaurant. It was not busy at all. And 45 minutes later, we still didn't have a second drink and we didn't have any food. And my wife's like, got up and left. And then we went back a second time to give them a second chance. And lo and behold, the same thing happened. And that was when my wife's like, I'm done. Not coming back here. Not happening. And to no one's great surprise, I don't know, 6 months to a year later, they were out of business. My wife was like, that place was fun and it was cool when they had good service. The food was no great shakes, but they had good service. It was a nice place to go chill. And then bad service killed it. You just can't do that. And more from the Quiet Refuge. Oh, we have yet to identify the source of the pervasive humming. It's dominant. Oh, this is one we started a long time ago. Our research were able to since focus on breaching the near hemispherical structure. The space within is entirely devoid of material contents. Our initial conclusion is that this was designed as a sensory isolation chamber. Furthermore, the inside surface of the dome is illustrated with what appears to be constellation charts supplemented by mythical figures in some form of scripture. We are already working to interpret these designs. I thought I read that before in one of the earlier episodes. Oh well. we're just chugging along. We're gonna, and I need to go back down here and look at the rest of the fleets, because fleets 1 through 4 got upgraded, but fleets 5 didn't, because the game glitched out there on that, as it does on that screen periodically.
Research concluded.
I really wish I had the power to tell, to hang out with Paradox for a day and be like, hey, here's all the stuff, here's all the changes I want to see in your game that I think would just be great. Here's the bugs I'd love to see that it be squashed. Here's what you guys could do to just really improve your product. It's already great, and you're still getting new players, which is awesome, by the way. I think it's fantastic that new players are still finding this game. But they could do so much more to help it out. See this. This is what I'm talking about. What the hell? Okay, so you need add ship design to fleets. Give me the battleship KF class. Crank those up. And one more of those. Okay, do this. And something came off. What came off? What came off here? Ambition, scientific revolution. Okay. Scientific revolution. That came off. Well, turn that back on. So we'll go over here and we'll stomp the fallen empire because we can. And why not? That's always Fortress Starfleet is your name. Well, it's not anymore. You're gonna be the 8th fleet. And this archaeological site is done. Forgotten Grudge. We have concluded that the forces from the Destroyers, a race of extra-dimensional nomads, invaded Baldurk, which at the time belonged to Those Who Resist, a coalition of several different species. From scattered records, we believe that the war was mostly fought elsewhere in the galaxy, and Baldurk was attempted by Those Who Resist to establish a secret colony outside the reach of the Destroyers. The outcome of this battle and the larger war remains unknown, but the study of the wrecked war machines has yielded some valuable information. And you have the word "that" in there twice, Paradox. I know I'm going to be that annoying guy. So 8th fleet. Let's go in here and change you. You can be F class, F class, F class, battleship, F class, and we'll do this and we'll fix you. We'll generate all those ships. So the devouring. We'll go into your fleet manager and fix you to F classes. So all of this. I pressed this button. I pressed it. I really did. I promise I pressed it. Battleship F class. Battleship F class. All right, let's see. What are we at? You don't have a lot of these things, so let's do this. Let's go. How many battleships? How many battleships can we reasonably do? 10. A bunch of destroyers. We're going to put a bunch of those guys in, and let's do like 10 of these destroyers. Fill the rest up with corvettes.
Initial colonization phase complete.
Okay, now I can fix you guys, and then we can... Oh yeah, we're gonna go buy some of this. We got plenty of money. We're gonna do that. Oh hey, what happened to our minerals there? What happened to our minerals? How is that happening? Wow, we just lost a ton of minerals. What the heck happened there? Oh, I'm trying to figure what that could be that all of a sudden would have consumed that many minerals. I'm not sure. We're going to have to go find out. Just means that I need to go in here and find some worlds where I can take a little look at this. Wow. It's quite the world. Here we go. Nanix. It's got all this bureaucracy here. It needs to save its last 3 slots for these, and then we're never, ever, ever in trouble with these things ever again, which makes me happy. Ring worlds. Oh, look at this. You're so pretty. Okay. Girls, girls, girls. You're both pretty. This and a precinct house. And Ring D, same thing. Precinct House and Holo Theaters. And then we can worry about making you guys all do all your stuff. Yeah, so all of a sudden, you went in the hole. Very abruptly. It's not like we can't buy them. We can, certainly. Let's get some of these built.
Research concluded.
And let's get that. And then upgrade these so that you can put the research bonus building on it. Okay, let's see. Research. Oh, and we're at an hour, so it's going to be the end of this episode. It's been a fantastic ride so far. This is our galaxy at large. And the Obadan Commerce League got conquered by us. We will vassalize them after 10 years. And we're going to go over here and take care of the Rixie Zealots, and then we're just going to ride out the last of the game in peace. So, newbies, you guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much for being along for this full ride, and especially all of you, my regular Patreon viewers who watch all these videos. I know you do, and you watch them to the end, and you guys are fantastic. Appreciate you so much. As always, if you guys dig the episode, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a question and comment down below, and support my Patreon page. It's listed in the link below. See you next time.